Ready? Okay.
On August 26, 1990, Doug Nye retold the infamous story of Gary Hancock in his article titled The Chicken Curse. It was the summer of 1978, and the Boston Red Sox were on fire. By mid-July, they had built a 14-game lead over the New York Yankees, and it looked as though they would cruise into the postseason. But then, they called up Gary Hancock, a highly praised minor league pitcher. From that point on, their engine seemed to sputter. They blew their 14-game lead, lost the pennant to the Yankees, and failed to make the postseason yet again. Now, most fans would attribute this fall from greatness to the curse of the great Bambino. But if we dig a little bit deeper, we will find that that's simply not the case. You see, it wasn't that Gary Hancock was a bad ball player, but he did play his college ball at the University of South Carolina. As I'm about to show you, anything and everything to do with the Gamecocks is cursed. According to Pat Dooley's July 22, 2010 article titled, "Oh, That Ball Coach and His Optimism," the curse was imposed on the Chickens by former South Carolina Senator Pitchfork Ben Tilman. Tilman was allegedly upset because the South Carolina legislature had blocked the formation of our beautiful Clemson University. He took his pitchfork, went to the middle of the South Carolina campus, slammed it into the ground, and declared the Chickens cursed. Now, I'm sure at the time he had no idea that his curse would affect the Gamecocks and anyone associated with them for years to come. Now, I know you may find this hard to believe, so I'll give you the facts told in Doug Nye's August 26, 1990 article titled The Chicken Curse. The greatest example was in 1986, when Carolina was playing NC State in football. The Shamecocks had a 5-point lead, and looked as though, and thought that they had won the game as time expired, but then the curse stepped in. An offside penalty gave NC State one more shot at the end zone, and somehow the Wolfpack receiver came down with a 40-yard desperation pass, giving the Chickens a loss by, you guessed it, 1 point. You see, the curse just doesn't simply bring failure. It dangles victory in front of the Chickens' noses and yanks it away in heartbreaking fashion. 1984. The South Carolina Gamecocks had put together one of the greatest football teams of all time. They beat Florida State on national television to go 9-0 and needed one more easy victory over a weak Navy team to secure their bid to the national championship game. They traveled to Annapolis, only to once again yank defeat from the jaws of victory. As Charles Bennett said on January 5, 1992 in his article, The Chicken Curse, there is a reason for a Gamecocks' bad luck. The Gamecocks lost to Navy and lost their ensuing bowl game, another season ending in defeat. Now, for the sake of time, I can't tell you every story of heartbreaking loss in Carolina history, but I will give you these quick facts, to also found in Doug Nye's August 26, 1990 article titled The Chicken Curse. The first U.S. Olympic basketball team to ever lose a game, their starting point guard was a former USC player. The day before the 1977 Super Bowl, the Cowboys cut former USC quarterback Jay Salty. Without Salty, the Cowboys won. Any idea where Elvis's last concert was before his sudden death? Carolina Coliseum. And can anyone tell me the name of the last space shuttle to crash land? Columbia. Doug Nye also told us in his August 30th, 1990 article that it is even dangerous to write about the curse, because the day after his previous article titled The Chicken Curse was published, he came down with a serious case of diarrhea that plagued him for a day. I'm serious. Plagued him for a day. The next morning, woke up, his car wouldn't start. That night, he came home and had a very unusually high fever. This curse goes much beyond the scope of Carolina football. But the saddest part of this entire thing is how hard the Gamecocks try to shed themselves of the curse, as shown in the September 5th, 1992 article by the Charlotte Observer staff, titled "Gamecock Fans Find Help to Eliminate Curse." It was the day before the 1992 season, and Flynn Bowie Jr., a student at Carolina, and some of his friends hired a witch doctor to try and reverse the curse and send it back to Clemson. Nice try, Bowie. The next day was the opening game for both teams. Clemson won. Carolina lost. The curse lives on. And now the baseball team is trying to claim that they have beaten the curse because they finally won a championship game. But I agree with Dooley's statement in his July 22, 2010 article titled "Oh, That Ball Coach and His Optimism," that it takes more than a line drive single in extra innings to overcome 100 years worth of failure. Now, as a true Tiger fan, which I'm sure most of you are, you have to believe that Pitchfork Ben Tilman's curse does exist. But the evidence presented today would show even the average citizen that anything and everything associated with the University of South Carolina is cursed. Thank you.